Yep. Couldn't agree more. You mentioned community, and I just was so excited to kind of tell you this. Last year, I was at KetoCon, which I don't think your new film is going to be premiering at Hack Your Health this year, rebranded from KetoCon. I'm guessing it's not going to appear at that show. But anyway, I had become really good friends through another conference with our mutual friend Robin Dobbins, and
Yeah.
I got invited one night to go with a group of NSNG people, no sugar, no grain, a community that you created, to go to a barbecue in Austin. And they offered me a ride. I accepted for sure. I was really excited to spend time with these people. We had the most lovely evening in the backyard of this barbecue joint with a group of 20 or 30 people that were all NSNG, had found you and your work. They were all various ages, various health statuses. Some people were very fit. Other people were still on their journey of becoming more fit. They were some of the kindest and most friendly people I've ever met. None of them were dogmatic. They just did the best they could to follow exactly what you've been promoting for over a decade now. No sugar, no grain. I had a lovely time. And like I said, this community is so, by and large, friendly and happy and accepting and non-dogmatic. I really, really appreciate that you created this community and help kind of set that up. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, I've from the beginning, because I took it from working with my clients, for decades before that in Hollywood, and said, okay, I'm sending this out to the general public, but I want to make sure that people don't look at this as a diet, because diet, once you put the D word in there, then, now once you give someone a diet, the first thing they do is, okay, how can I work my way around this diet? What can I do to cheat? Right. And that's kind of what this fourth movie is about. It's like guys like me created this low carb movement online. And then the first thing that happens is industry comes in and goes, hey, you can start cheating. And that's why I call NSNG a lifestyle. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Your liver works as a meritocracy. Whatever you put into your body, your liver will, say, hey, here it is. Right. I'll give you an example of that. There's this woman who she lost, I want to say she was right at 90 pounds weight loss. And she works as a school teacher or something. She doesn't have all the money in the world. So she couldn't set up, consults with me. I do these consults where people can call and set them up. She couldn't really afford that. But I saw the woman was coming along, and I quietly help those people. And I'll get their email address or their phone number, and I'll text them and write to them and this kind of thing. Well, at some point, this woman started backsliding. She was 90 pounds down. She still had about 125 pounds to go, right? So you go, oh my God, 90 pounds. Oh my. Yeah, but she wasn't halfway yet. And she started gaining some weight back, and she started sliding backwards. She had like an 11-pound backslide. And I said, what's going on? She goes, oh, work is stressful, the kids, the dog, blah, 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 blah. And I started eating sugar again. I'm on the sugar train and I can't get off. It's an addiction, Casey. And I said, I tell you what, I said, when was the last time you had sugar? She goes, I just ate donuts just now. They bring them into work. They're right there. I'm stressed out. I just hammered a bunch of donuts. And I said, okay, what time is it right now? And she goes, it's 6 p.m. Where I don't know where she is I know where she is, but she's not on my time. I said, okay, can you go 24 hours? Can you give me 24 hours of being clean? And she goes, I think I can do that. I said, I want you to give me 24, please give me 24 hours. And she said, absolutely. I said, I want you to text me 24 hours. She did. She goes, I've been clean for 24 hours. And I said, okay, let's do another 24. Long story short, we've been doing that every single day, day in, day out, weekends, everything, for about 3 months. And the woman hasn't had sugar in 3 months, and not only gained back the 11 pounds that she lost back the 11 pounds she gained, but she's now moving in a direction of losing that last 125 pounds. She's lost a lot of weight, but it's one day at a time. It's one day at a time. And people go, you like what you do? It's like, Oh yeah. When I could get people like this and just be there and help them. Yeah, I'm good. That's a life well lived.
It's amazing. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, exactly what you're describing is addictive behavior. I follow a fairly strict carnivore diet. That's just what works well for me. I don't do well with most carbohydrates. I just don't. And sometimes, very rarely, but every few months, I might go off a little bit. And a reason recently that I went off, it was a few weeks ago, and I was craving peanut butter burgers, which I don't know if you've had one. It sounds kind of gross, but it's like a normal.
What the heck? Because I love peanut butter, so do tell.
Most people give me a really gross look, and trust me, I thought it looked disgusting for a long time. But I used to have them, and it's like it's got the sweetness of the peanut butter and a little bit of crunch. And like I this time, I decided to have it with a bun, and I just I bought one package of the buns, I bought one thing of peanut butter, and this is peanuts, like it's just peanuts and salt, like nothing else in it, no sugar, whatever. I had that jar, and it was gone, bottom of the jar in 3 days.
Wow.
That's how quickly it took me to get through that thing. I can't have it. I'm an addict. I believe that. And like if I have a little, I have a little more and a little more and a little more, and then I have to finish whatever I have. And it's like, what? Why am I doing this to myself? My anxiety comes back. I don't sleep as well. It takes a little while to get back to like feeling good and optimal again. And it's such an addiction, man. It's exactly the way you said it.
It is, and I'm no better than anyone else. I have a sugar addiction. That's why people go, "Oh, you're so stoic. You could just stay away from sugar." It's like, no. I'm like an alcoholic. And I know this because there are two people in this world that I love who are both, I call them former alcoholics, but former alcoholics still call themselves alcoholics. One's been sober for 38 years and the other one for, I want to say 16, 17 years. He's been going for a while. And I follow, since they're very close to me, I follow what they do in AA for my own addiction to sugar. That's why I stay away from it. But unlike them, they can never have a drink. Every now and again, I'll sneak a little sugar, but it's very well controlled, right? And it's literally like twice or three times a year. It's usually Christmas time at the in-laws or something like that. But I'm very controlled about when I do it, right? And I don't do, well, once a month or once a week, I'm going to have a cheat. I cannot do that. I cannot cheat once a week. As a matter of fact, we haven't talked about it on this show, but for your audience, I'm going through chemotherapy again because of chronic leukemia. And I've been so spot on. I mean, I just told my wife, because I can't leave the house. I can't be in public because my immune system is shot. I said, honey, I need some more coconut oil. And she was like, I just bought you a jar like the other day. I went, oh, yeah, I'm done. I need another jar. I went through a jar of coconut. I'm so hell bent on keeping my ketone levels high right now while I'm fighting off infection. And if you talk to my friend Mary Newport or have you ever had Mary on the show, by the way?
Of course. She's a sweetheart. I was
Oh my
so happy
God.
to see her in your latest movie.
By the way, she's coming out on my podcast, my Friday show again very soon.
Oh, good.
Mary will tell you that, there's antimicrobial, properties to coconut oil and all this kind of stuff. I've been eating that through my, going through my cancer thing again, like there's no tomorrow, right? Just keeping my ketones way higher than I normally would. And, whenever I talk to my doctor and the nurse, how are you feeling? How are you doing? Say, oh yeah, today I did 90 minutes of aerobics, and they're like scratching their heads going, you did what? All the way through chemo. Now, there were a couple of days where I was so down and, as I like to say, my dick was in the dirt, man. But for the most part, I've been on my spinner and my Concept 2 rowing machine. Just, yeah. And by the way, right after this podcast, that's what I'm getting ready to do, is go do 90 minutes. I couldn't do this the last time I was on chemo 17 years ago, because even though I was doing this with my clients, I was trying to eat every bit of carbohydrate that I could because I just wanted to keep feeding myself, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot better on just being in downright total ketosis this time.